And Colbert is going all out in his final days. On Monday, President Obama showed up to crash the party and deliver Colbert's lines himself on the segment called The Word.
How hard can this be? I'm just going to say whatever you were about to say.
Okie doke. I'll just...
Nation, as you know, I, Stephen Colbert, have never cared for our president. The guy is so arrogant. I'll bet he talks about himself in the third person. But...
David, you're a historian of this stuff. Obviously, the relationship between a president and his people, you know, the illustriousness of the office, the gravitas that comes with it, is a constant source of it's a conundrum for the American body politic. How unpresidential is it for a president to do something like this?
Well, no, we've had plenty of presidents who have used humor, none as effectively as Obama, at least from my sense of humor. Yeah. I think he's really funny, and I think that when he's out of office, people might be tired of him right now. We're going to miss that sense of humor because looking on the horizon, nobody's got it.
Oh, come on, Marco Rubio is a hoot. A sheer hoot. No, I watched that and I was amazed at how good his comic timing was.
Yeah, his comic timing
to pause, to let the audience laugh, to like just engage with them.
He's got this sort of dry and that sense of humor and the wit and the way he looks into the camera. I mean, it's right on.
It makes good sense. You know, a lot of comedians and speakers kind of share I think a skill in a certain sense. I mean, like Toastmasters, you know?
Well, of course.
And great writers. He's got the best writers on his team.
And so does Colbert. Still the most important writers that, you know, not to diminish, like, the people up there making the jokes, but I still think that, like, writing is the most important part of comedy. And
it's a good
and
part.
You know, Obama does have good timing. He's got good delivery.
That line so that it doesn't come across as
you can learn timing.
In the way that Ronald Reagan would. You know, even in the 1980s, the Ronald Reagan joke was lame.
Who was the funniest president before Obama? Who made
Bill
jokes?
Clinton funny?
Jack Kennedy was kind of clever and kind of funny, but not as ironic in the way that Obama is in speaking to this new age of irony.
So there's a connection that some politicians have that's visceral, that's like a very like the Clintonian, Reagan-esque sense of connectedness and sense of making everyone they speak to feel like they're the most important person in the world kind of thing.
Serial
Obama
killer charm, they call it, right?
Serial killer charm.
Yeah,
sure.
That's not Obama's
That's
skill.
not Obama. But
that's not his talent.
So how do you kind of classify what his talent is? Because he's able to reach through that TV screen and make you love him, and yet you meet him in person and he seems professorial and aloof.
Yeah. Well, you know, he doesn't need it the way those guys needed it. Bill Clinton needed the affection. He loved it. He would spend, hours after the party was over just trying to get, the last bit of glory and reflection from the audience out of people.
Or what have you.
Or whatever, right, exactly. Obama doesn't need it
That's
like
after
that.
the party's over.
And I think that is, people find that, that's off-putting, members of the press. He doesn't love me the way I was loved by Bill Clinton. But that's not Obama's way.
Mm. How far can you go to relate, if you're an Obama, without diminishing the office of the presidency, if that means anything?
Well, we've gone, when he's slow jamming the news, I think he's pretty much sort of brought it down. But because
there's always this critique. When he went on Jay Leno or Dave Letterman, they're like, this is beneath him. He's the president. He's a sitting president.
Yeah. Well, Richard Nixon went on laughing. Yeah. So, it's...
As president? When he was president?
As president.
Wow. So, things have dropped when you're
Can I ask another presidential history question?
Yeah.
What's the lowest cultural thing a sitting president has ever done?
Wow. Intentionally?
I mean, Lincoln used to write for...
Own slaves?
Lincoln used to write for...
Own slaves.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Lincoln used to write for tabloids under pseudonyms. Used to pen articles himself for partisan tabloids in his own defense.
Right.
Which is pretty low, but also under a pseudonym. But I don't know, what
was the lowest? What's
the lowest major cultural venue that a president has ever stooped to appear in? Is Laugh-In it?
I'd say probably laughing was
YouTube.
it. I mean,
Jay Leno doesn't compete with that. He's pretty not funny.
Laughing was pretty racy in those days.
I want to see some comedians at like some open mic, some New York City, just kind of wanted.
Like a sitting president at the Comedy Cellar.
Obama crashes, Caroline's or something.
Yeah. Clinton would have done it. You can imagine Clinton there. Yeah. Is this thing on? I've got a T-shirt that has Teddy Roosevelt. Look at this on my computer. Riding a moose, and it says, "You may be cool, but you'll never be Teddy Roosevelt riding a moose cool."
Wow.
Is that real?
No, that's probably not real. But it's pretty. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's cool. It's great.